IUIC is in Charlotte, North Carolina, and the objective of us teaching is to wake you brothers and sisters up to who you are in the Bible. You are known in the Bible as the Israelites that the Bible talks about. When you open up the Bible and you read in the Bible, you're reading about your forefathers and foremothers. You're not reading about other people. You're reading about yourselves. You're the Israelites that the Bible speaks of. When the brother made reference to about who Christ looks like in the Bible, this is the depiction of what Jesus is described as in the Bible. A dark-skinned man with woolly hair, white woolly hair. That's the description of Jesus in the Bible. When he was making the point, because a lot of people don't know what Christ looked like, they think that it's this. Give me this other thing. This is what you've been taught about what Jesus looks like. Where is this written at? In the Bible. In all the Bibles. So what are we talking about? The greatest book that was ever put on this planet. And whose history doesn't record? You blacks and Hispanics.
That's right.
But you have not been taught that in this setup. So you got a lot of learning to learn. So we're out here to dispense this information to you. That's what our job is. We're not out here for a show. We're not out here to sing and dance and entertain you. We're here to give you God's word. Period. Okay, come on back, brother. So, you know what, real quick, because a lot of you have not heard this. Let's read the description of Jesus in the what? The Bible. The book of Revelation. Let's see. The first verse. The book of Revelation, chapter 1 and verse 1.
The revelation of Jesus Christ.
The revelation means the revealing of who? Of Jesus the Christ. Jesus the Christ is talking about the Savior that's in the Bible. That's to save the nation of Israel. That's the Jesus that we're reading about.
Which God gave unto him to show unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass.
So these are the writings that John the Revelator wrote down about Jesus.
And he sent and signified it by his angel unto his servant John.
So John the Revelator was writing down the words of Jesus. He was writing down the records of Jesus. Where did he write it down at? In the book called Revelation, in the Bible. Third verse.
Verse 3. Blessed is he that readeth.
Blessed is the brothers, blessed is the sisters that read the Bible. If you was reading the Bible, you would know that Jesus is a black man just like you.
That's right.
Read that again.
Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy.
And also you are blessed that when you hear the words of this prophecy. So not only are you blessed when you read it, but you are also blessed when you hear the words of these prophecies being read about Jesus.
Right. That's right. And keep those things which were written therein.
And for you to keep these things in your mind, what things? The things that are written therein. Written therein meaning inside the Bible. So you're supposed to keep these words that we're reading in your mind.
Bring it out.
Verse 13.
Verse 13. And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man.
So this same John said in the middle of the 7 candlesticks, that's the menorah, so you can understand. The 7-branch menorah. That's what John is describing. He says in the middle of these 7 candlesticks, what do I see?
One like unto the Son of Man.
John says, I see one that looked like Jesus Christ. How could John make that statement had he not seen Jesus before? He says, I look in the middle of the 7 candlesticks and I see one that looked like the Son of Man. The Son of Man is talking about Christ. That's who's known as the Son of Man in the New Testament.
Clothed with a garment down to the foot.
So what did Christ have on? A long garment clothed down to his feet. Like, come up here, Officer Josiah, come up here, let me show you. Let's get some visual descriptions here. This is an example of what the Bible is talking about when it says a long garment down to his foot. This long, manly garment.
That's right. And girt about the paps with a golden girdle.
And the paps, come up here again. And the paps represent up underneath his chest down to here, was wrapped in a golden girdle. Who was wearing this? Jesus.
That's right.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Read on.
His head and his hairs were white like wool.
The hair on Jesus' head was white and woolly.
That's right.
Where's the image at? So far, we're getting a good description of what Jesus looked like. And where's that written at? In all the Bibles. Read.
As white as snow.
White as snow. Go ahead. White as snow. And he was only 33 years old with white hair. Why? Because the Israelites is a hell of a people to deal with.
That's right.
That's why. Our people are hard-headed, stiff-necked, rebellious, don't want to learn anything but foolishness and frolic.
That's right.
And the Negro got plenty of toys to play with in Babylon the Great. But if he don't get his head together soon, the Most High going to take his head off.
That's right.
Read.
And his eyes were as a flame of fire.
The whites of Jesus' eyes was red. That's why it says that his eyes were as a flame of fire, meaning that the whites of his eyes was red. Why? Because he drank wine. That's in the prophecy.
Right.
And his feet like unto fine brass.
So let's get some understanding. Come back up here, Officer Josiah. It started out and it said that he had a long robe down to his foot. So we read the description. It says clothed with a garment down to the foot. Then it started to describe his hair. It says hair was white and woolly. Then it gave you the color of his eyes was red. When it said the flame of fire means that he drank wine, like it says in the prophecies in Genesis. His eyes shall be red with wine. Then it says what? And his what? And his feet?
And his feet.
Oh, hold on.
And his feet like unto fine brass.
So why did the Bible jump down to the feet? Because it already gave you the description that he had a long robe on. It gave you his hair. It gave you his eyes. Now it's going to tell you about the feet, because that's at the bottom of the garment. And his feet
like unto fine brass.
The feet of Jesus was like fine brass. Brass is brown.
As if they burned in a furnace.
So Jesus Christ's feet were so dark, it looked like you took this brass and you burnt it.
That's right.
So that's the color of Jesus. The color of Jesus is a black, so you can understand, dark brown man with woolly hair.
That's right.
Who are you describing? I'm asking you. Who does that sound like?
That sound like us.
That's right. Where's that recorded at, brother? In the Bible. What are we reading? The Bible. The Bible!
What Bible you reading?
He said, what Bible are we reading? Now you know why that's such an important question? Because our people have been taught lies on the Bible.
Right.
And whenever they hear the description of Jesus is coming out black, they say it can't be the Bible. Because that's not what I learned in church.
That's right.
That's right.
Because they have not taught you the Bible in church. In the very church that you went to, this is written in there. How is it that the preacher never read this to you? Because he's full of the devil, that's why.
That's
The
right.
scriptures say that the people are blessed when they read the Bible. How come the preacher never read this? But to answer your question, tell them what book you read.
King James Version.
Did you hear that? 1611 King James, and all the King James got the same description in there. So there's no excuse for the preacher to be lying to the people. You really can't fault the people themselves, because they're only going by what the preacher's teaching them.
Right.
If the people don't go home and read the Bible for themselves, then it's on them. Because that's what you should be doing. You got a flyer in your hand. The same thing that we just read to you is in the flyer. Go home, open up your own Bible, and see if we're lying to you.
That's right.
That's the reason why this world is so mad at us. We don't give a damn. We're going to teach his word regardless.
Right.
We're tired of our people walking around here dead in their brains. Here, the greatest book on the planet Earth got your information in here, and we're walking around here hating each other.
That's right.
That's crazy. The Lord is here to get rid of that. That's the reason why he's got you listening now. Read that again. Read that verse again.
Revelations 1:15. And his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace.
So the feet of Jesus is the rest of the color of his whole body. It's like he burnt in a furnace. Let's get some more. Let's get some more prophets. Give me Paul, about Paul, the Apostle Paul. Let's see what he looked like. Acts 21. Let's see. They've been lying on this Bible, but it's time for the truth to come out now.
The book of Acts, chapter 21, verse 37. And as Paul was led into the castle, he said unto the chief captain.
Now, let me ask you, what's your name, my brother? Come up here. Come up a little bit. We're your brothers. As you probably figured that out by now.
Yeah, I already know.
All right. When they taught you about Paul, were you in the church?
I don't go to church.
You don't go to church. Why? Have you ever been to church?
Yeah, when I was young.
When you was young. Why'd you stop going?
Yeah, it ain't for me. I don't believe what they taught.
You don't believe in what? So what were they teaching you that made you? What was the alert point that came up? Because let me put it this way. Because I've been to church too. We all, we were all little. Our parents took us. My moms took me. All these mothers and fathers. We all go in our Sunday best. So you know the story. When we get there, we see the people jumping up and down. I thought they were reading the Bible. When the revivals going on, ham hocks in the basement. You know what I'm talking about, right? They have the pig dinners and all that. They do that. They serve pork in the church after you finish sweating from dancing. You follow me? So they go down there and eat. But my point is that we was in there, we were learning what we thought was the truth, but then it has to come to a point where you say, wait a minute, this don't sound right. So I imagine that's what happened to you. So what was the exact point that came up that made you say, wait a minute, this is not right? I'd like to hear it. Come on up here.
It won't really be what he said, man. It's just the way the churches go. You know what I mean? As far as
you can say it a little bit.
As far as the things they do in church, as far as taking money from people in church.
Okay. So they take it.
Mega churches. To me, it's more politics.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Now you mentioned about they're taking money from the people in the churches, and then still the congregants of the church have nothing.
Yeah.
The pastor got this huge. Some of them driving Rolls Royces.
Yeah.
That's right.
Got all kinds of, and the people in the church starving. Marriages are all messed up. People got all kinds of problems. They're getting no kind of spiritual help, no kind of help at all. So I imagine you saw things of this nature. So basically, you saw that the church was in hypocrisy. Hypocrisy. All right, I understand that. What's your name, brother?
Javante.
What is it? Javante?
Javante.
Yeah. All right, pleased to meet you, my brother. I'm Deacon Yawasap, IUIC. All right, so we're going to continue. We're going to continue.
Y'all from Charlotte? Y'all based in
Yes, we are. We're based in Charlotte. We have a chapter. We have a few chapters here in Charlotte. Concord, we have a sanctuary there.
I just seen something on the internet of y'all marching.
And Memphis. Yeah,
Yeah.
In Memphis. That's the congregation. Actually, that was a collection of different congregations coming around and we had our men's conference in Memphis. So yes, that was us. All praise to the Most High. See, the word got out.
The book of Acts, chapter 21, verse 37. And as Paul was led into the castle, he said unto the chief captain.
Now, when we took a look at Paul, according to what we thought Paul looked like, we had figured him to be of Caucasian stock. Because that's what the pictures and the art displays of him. But is that accurate according to the writings of the Bible?
Bring it out.
That's the question.
He said unto the chief captain, may I speak unto thee?
So Paul said to the chief captain, he said, may I have a word with you?
Who said, canst thou speak Greek?
So the chief captain turned back to Paul and said, wait a minute. You mean to tell me you can speak Greek? Because obviously Paul spoke to him in Greek. He said, you can speak Greek. Listen to the reason why the captain asked Paul that question. He said, canst thou speak Greek? He was amazed. That's the point. There was amazement behind that statement. The question was, can I have a word with you? The answer should have been yes or no. But he didn't even answer the question because he was astonished because of what he saw. He said, wait a minute, before I even give you a yes or a no, you don't look like my people. You look like somebody else. And you're not supposed to be speaking Greek. That's the message. That's the answer. That's what the answer actually means. Read it again.
Canst thou speak Greek?
the whole statement again.
Verse 37. And as Paul was led into the castle, he said unto the chief captain, may I speak unto thee?
So Paul said to the chief captain, he said, can I have a word with you? Can I speak to you? Listen to what the chief captain going to say back to him.
Who said, canst thou speak Greek?
So he never answered Paul's question. He just said, canst thou speak Greek? Because obviously the captain understood Greek. But he did not expect Paul to be speaking Greek.
Art not thou that Egyptian?
That's the reason why he didn't expect Paul to speak Greek, because he looked like an Egyptian. Does the Egyptian people speak Greek? No. A lot of them probably do now because they've been colonized by Alexander and the Greeks back then all the way up to now. But the original Egyptians are not Greek people.
Right.
So when this supposedly Egyptian came to speak to this chief captain, he spoke to him in Greek, but he did not look like he's supposed to be speaking Greek, and that astonished the chief captain. That's why he said what he said there. Wait a minute, how are you speaking Greek? You look like an Egyptian. What color are the Egyptians? They lied about them too. The Egyptians are black people.
That's right.
The Egyptians come out of Ham, a black man in the Bible.
Right.
The 4 sons that came out of Ham, the Egyptians was one of them. They were known as Mizraim. That's black people. So a black man talking to a white man in Greek astonished him. He said, wait a minute, you speaking Greek? You're supposed to be speaking one of those African languages because you look like an African. Not the Afrikaners either that's living in South Africa. That's not the African that we're talking about. We're talking about the real seed of Ham. That's what this chief captain mistaked Paul for, a black man. And you don't have to go deep into the Bible. You can just start just learning about what the prophets look like. You don't have to go deep into the deep mysteries. You just start with that basic understanding so that you can come out of that ignorance running around talking about something you don't know who you are. I'm a black man. I'm an African American. There's no such people as that.
Right.
All names of people are in the Bible. Everybody has their nationality in the Bible. And your preachers are supposed to be telling you who you are. That's the reason why they have the Bible. They're supposed to be going in the Bible and showing you who you are and why you are. Why you are where you are. They're supposed to be teaching you that.
Shalom, Israel. I'm Elder Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ. YouTube likes to shut our channels down, as some of you have noticed, ever so often. Subscribing to join IUIC will assure you will always stay connected to our YouTube accounts. We want to do our best to make sure this truth gets out. Please click and join our subscriber YouTube channel called Join IUIC to stay linked to all of our videos. So again, please make sure you subscribe to this Join IUIC channel to get your latest updates from all our YouTube channels. Shalom.